A storm is brewing in North America, a trade war unlike any before. Steel, aluminum, electricity, even dairy? It's a high-stakes economic showdown between two of the world's largest trading partners, America and Canada. And at the center of it all, tariffs that could change the game forever. For years, trade between these two nations has been the backbone of North America's economic stability. Billions of dollars of goods flow across the border every single day. But now, that relationship is on the brink of collapse. What started as a political dispute has spiraled into a full-fledged economic war. And the consequences? They could shake the very foundation of the global economy. It started with a single move. Ontario slapped a 25% surcharge on electricity exports to the US. And in response, President Donald Trump dropped the hammer, a brutal 50% tariff on Canadian steel and aluminum. The markets reacted instantly, plunging into chaos, with the Dow tumbling nearly 500 points in a single day. Then, a sudden reversal. Within hours, the White House pulled back, scaling the tariff down to 25% instead of 50%. But was this really a de-escalation, or just the calm before the storm? These aren't just numbers, they represent livelihoods. Workers in Pittsburgh, auto manufacturers in Detroit, dairy farmers in Quebec, all caught in the crossfire of a trade war that could last for years. Both sides dug in. Trump threatened an electricity tariff of his own, 25% on Canadian energy flowing into the US. Ford, defiant, raised the stakes. "We'll shut it off entirely," he warned. And Canada's next leader, Mark Carney, vowed to keep the pressure on, refusing to remove tariffs unless the US showed respect. And that's not all. Trump hinted at something even bigger, a potential 250% tariff on Canadian dairy, calling Canada's milk pricing system a massive ripoff. But why dairy? For years, Canada has maintained strict controls on its dairy industry, limiting foreign competition. This has frustrated American farmers who believe they are being locked out of a lucrative market. Now, Trump is using that long-standing dispute as leverage in a much bigger trade fight. The US has long criticized Canada's protectionist approach to dairy, arguing that it hurts American farmers while benefiting only a select group of Canadian producers. But what happens when tariffs hit? Prices rise, markets shift, and in the end, the consumer, you, pays the price. But who really suffers? The numbers are staggering. Canada supplies 41% of America's aluminum and nearly a quarter of its steel. The tariffs could cost the US over 100,000 jobs, with industries from auto manufacturing to construction bracing for impact. Even former Treasury Secretary Larry Summers called it the worst trade policy yet. Appliances, infrastructure, medical devices, even the cans holding your favorite drink, prices could skyrocket. Trump says tariffs will bring jobs back, but is this a strategic move or an economic gamble with global consequences? The automotive industry is already feeling the heat. American automakers rely heavily on Canadian steel and aluminum. If these tariffs remain, car prices could rise and factory jobs could be lost. It's a vicious cycle, one that could ripple through the entire economy. And let's not forget Wall Street. Investors are spooked and the markets are reacting violently. As economic uncertainty looms, some analysts warn that we could be on the brink of another recession. Others say it's all just part of Trump's strategy, a calculated risk to force Canada back to the negotiating table. But will it work? With negotiations set for Thursday, all eyes are on Washington, Ottawa, and Ontario. Will cooler heads prevail, or is this just the beginning of an all-out economic war? One thing is certain: the future of North American trade hangs in the balance. But what about China? Some analysts believe this fight isn't just about Canada. It's a warning shot for Beijing, a signal that Washington is willing to use tariffs as a weapon against any country that challenges US trade dominance. If Trump is willing to go this far with America's closest ally, what does that mean for the ongoing battle with China over semiconductors, rare earth minerals, and intellectual property? And beyond China, there's Europe. The European Union is watching closely. If America pushes forward with aggressive tariffs on Canadian goods, could Brussels be next? Retaliatory tariffs could escalate into a multi-front trade war, one that disrupts global supply chains and shakes economies worldwide. Meanwhile, American consumers are already feeling the effects. At grocery stores, prices on dairy products are climbing. At car dealerships, sticker prices are creeping up. And at construction sites, builders are delaying projects due to skyrocketing material costs. This isn't just about policy. It's about real people, real businesses, and real consequences. So, what comes next? If history is any guide, trade wars rarely end in clear victories. They bring economic pain, political tension, and unpredictable consequences. The real question isn't who wins, it's who can endure the longest. What do you think? Are these tariffs a necessary move to bring jobs back to America? Or are they a reckless gamble that could backfire? Let us know in the comments below. And if you want to stay on top of the biggest economic showdowns in the world, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Because this trade war, it might just be the beginning. Behind the scenes, another economic battleground is heating up. One that could make the US-Canada standoff look small in comparison. The world's biggest economies are moving their chess pieces, and a major shift is coming. But who will come out on top, and who will pay the price? Stay tuned, because in our next episode, we are uncovering the trade war that no one is talking about yet. See you next time.